the top of the page. That's where you'll find all your shopping information, past and present, without having to make a phone call or wade through a pile of paperwork. Plus, you can edit your credit card information, sign up for ShopNBC emails, and so much more. Do it all on my account. My account at ShopNBC.com. Be good to yourself.
We're in the beginning days of our big summer watch event at ShopNBC. We're going to run all week long in this same time frame with watch shows. I'll be here, Daniel will be here, Tim will be here. Jim, sadly, still a little bit under the weather, but the rest of the watch team is here in full force. We're going to take you through some great timepieces. Stuhrling Original is the watch brand that we're going to be featuring coming up in just a few moments' time. Something you need to really keep in mind because of the must-watch event, most popular brands on ShopNBC, you're going to get special pricing, 3 or more value pays on everything that you will see on the network as far as watches go, and guaranteed arrival by Father's Day. June 20th, Father's Day. Last day of May today, isn't it? June 1 tomorrow. So you've got less than 3 weeks to think about Dad for Father's Day. Let's take a look at some of the items coming up in this hour. And, you know, this is the star of the show. I can't even pretend that it isn't. This is our once only on the Alpine. I was teasing you under $100, well under $100 at $87.69. 31% has come off of the ShopNBC price. V91559, 3 color choices. We have the Concorso chronograph next on your screen. Great sportier timepiece with a watch week price of $127.18. 4 easy value payments. I said 3 or more payments. That's on 4, V91388. We just got more in stock right here of something for the ladies. It is the Audrey Freedom interchangeable set. Yes, interchangeable. You get them all for $119.24. V91265. Oh, I forgot. I'm not done yet. I'm thinking it's time to get the show started. No, we've got one more thing we need to mention. And this is really important because if you buy any watch, doesn't have to be an Invicta, but that's an Invicta watch there. You buy any watch and add that Invicta Pro Diver to your order, you're going to save more than you spend. You'll save $125. Your purchase with purchase price is $75. That is the original Pro Diver from Invicta, and we have not seen that one in a couple of years on the network. So add that to your order. If you want to buy it, it's $200, but if you buy it with another timepiece, $75. Purchase with purchase price. I mentioned Stuhrling Original, one of our favorite brands around here. They've been coming around a number of years. Larry Magen is joining me for this evening's show. He's the president of North American Operations for Stuhrling Original Timepieces, and it's always a pleasure to have your company, Larry.
Shawn, it's great to share Memorial Day afternoon with you, as well as everybody at home as well. And we have a great lineup tonight, Shawn.
We certainly do, and in fact, we're going to begin in a very big way. Spotlight item. This was a popular one. It is back in stock. This is the Apocalypse Trifecta. This is interchangeable. This is the coolest idea. The bezel, I should say, are interchangeable on these watches. You need to make an initial choice. Then you're going to get 3 separate bezels. So you're choosing the red, the blue, or the green. As you see them pictured right there, that's how they're set up in the system. From left to right, you saw the green, the red, and then the blue. So you're ordering based on the bezel color, and I'll walk you through this. It's not overly complicated. However, when you order whichever color bezel, dials will change as well within the choices there, you're going to get different bezels. So you can then swap out the bezel that you have on your watch. If you're ordering the blue bezel, you're going to get a silver tone dial. The dials stay the same on, you can't change that out. If you're ordering the red bezel, you're going to get a black. And if you order the green bezel, you're going to get a green dial watch. That is so hot. Then, in addition to whichever one you purchase, you are going to get a stainless steel silver tone bezel. But look at this one, a black bezel. Certainly looks like carbon fiber there, Larry.
It is, Shawn.
It is indeed carbon fiber on that particular bezel. What a great idea.
Yeah, it is, and you're absolutely correct. No matter which color bezel you order, whether it's the blue, the red, or the green, you are going to also get a stainless steel brushed bezel and also a black carbon fiber bezel. And the black carbon fiber, Shawn, has a lacquer finish. Did you notice that? Mm-hmm. Which is really nice. It just gives a whole different personality to the timepiece. Now, the Apocalypse, Shawn, This is from our most popular series, our Apocalypse series, and this is a new case size for us. It's a 45 millimeter case size. The original Apocalypse was a 42, so it has a nice presence on the wrist. And the one that Shawn is showing you right now on the screen, this is the red, but this is the only one that has the black PVD case. So if you like that black case with the black dial, you're going to want to order it, of course, as red. But another thing we did here with this piece, Shawn, besides giving it a new case size, we also put a Duracoat finish on the bezel. This is something new that we're doing sporadically this year in 2010.
Okay.
We hadn't done it till this year. It's a really high quality finish on that bezel. You can see how it just shines, and yet the finishing, it won't come off or scratch off or anything like that. And these bezels, as you mentioned, are interchangeable.
Let me show you how simple this is. And by the way, just for everybody's information, because you mentioned this Duracoat finish, that's basically the sheen and the shine that I'm seeing on the bezel, right?
Yes, they use this type of finishing with electronics products like cell phones and all kinds of products that you might see out in the marketplace. But it's new to Stuhrling Original this year in 2010.
It is a wonderful piece, and again, as
really
Larry
is.
mentioned, 45 millimeter is your case diameter here. Now, these are interchangeable bezels. Let me show you. It's a very ingenious idea. You're going to see little notches on the inside here, right?
Right.
So all I'm doing is lining those up with, there's little, I don't know how you describe them, little bumps or little ridges
Nubs or
here.
something.
Nubs, yes.
Okay.
On the case. Now, let me go ahead and pop this one off and show you, there we go, that one is now popped off. So I'm going to line up the little holes here with the little nubs, I guess you would call them, that you're seeing on the case. And then, yeah, we're using all the fancy watchmaking terms here. You line those, excuse me, up.
At 3 and 9.
I know, it's always, there we go. Come on, I can see them. I know they're there. There we go. Trained professional. See, friends, by the way, what you just saw is an example of why I work at 2 in the morning. Okay. Let me put it on now that we have swapped out the bezel and really given it a completely different look.
And you'll notice, Shawn, even with the interchangeable bezels, we still have the signature Stuhrling S screw heads going around the decagonal shape bezel. And of course, the decagonal shape is a signature characteristic of our Apocalypse series. Also, this is coming mounted on a genuine French leather strap. This is the first time in all, I think, 12 or 13 different Apocalypse models that we've done, that we actually have done one now on a French leather strap. All the other ones were either rubber straps or bracelets. So the Apocalypse trifecta is the first time on a leather strap, which is great because it's great for everyday wear.
Good looking case shape too. It's just got a great presentation on the wrist. You have made this a customer choice item. Your consistent 4.5, 5-star reviews on the website have made this a customer choice item. Here's one that says amazing watch. Thank you, Larry. I love the watch, and I also love the fact that I can switch the bezels between the silver, carbon fiber, and red, my favorite. I also ordered the extra set of straps, and wow, is amazing how many different colors and combinations I get to create. Another one that says, great watch. This is one of the nicest looking watches I've purchased. It looks great with any of the bezels. I'm a blue fan, so I wear the blue most often. You can't beat the price for this beautiful watch, especially when getting the extra bezels. It's a win-win item for sure. I will probably buy another color. Daddy Day from New Jersey. Great presentation, great watch. When I received this watch, I was so pleased. The box it came in was very classy. The watch itself looked 10 times better than it did on TV. My husband loved it, but I did a bad thing. I couldn't keep it a secret till his birthday. I had to give it to him earlier because I was so excited to give it to him. LOL, I'm terrible like that. There's someone with some personality. I like that. And by the way, Father's Day now, of course, coming up. Think ahead. June 20th is Father's Day. There's the presentation, which I love. In the background, you see all of your warranty information as well. The watch is stretched out in the box. And then, of course, your bezels. There's little elastic straps that are going to hold these in place. This is on a Swiss Movement, Swiss ISA 8172 chronograph. It's a chronograph complication is what you're looking at right there. The sub-dials giving you your readout for your standard seconds at 2 o'clock. Your day display down at 6 o'clock. Date display, kind of an exaggerated long date display there, and then your minutes for the chronograph over in the 10 o'clock position. I don't know if you noticed or not, but we have 5 easy value payments as well, so $25.97 can get this home in any of the 3 bezel choices. Yes, your dial is going to change, but the bezel is the variable here. The price is valid, watch week only. The 91400 is your item number, so please write that down. 5 value payments of $25.98. This is already selling, no surprise. It is that tremendous Alpine. It's going to be coming up in just a little bit. $87.69 is your price. About 5 minutes or so. We will get to that. 391-559. We just finished a spotlight item. Let's see what's going to be coming up as a spotlight tomorrow at 11 a.m. to be exact. It's the Dragonfly table lamp. That's going to be on 4 value pays for today only, meaning tomorrow. The lamp has been out of stock for 4 months now. It's the only double-lit table lamp in this show, so make sure that you're here for Tiffany-style lighting and accents, Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on ShopNBC, one of our very popular lighting shows to be seen. Now, we are about 5 minutes away from the once only. A lot of you already grabbing that, but we want to kind of tempt you, whet your appetite maybe with another one of the Stuhrlings that has been very, very popular, the Esprit chronograph. Now, want you to pay attention to this because what you're seeing on the screen is a watch week price of $198.72. And I am here to tell you this is the first time that this watch has been seen at this new low price. So you are the first to get in at $198.72. Please grab this one early. We only have, well, 3 minutes very quickly to talk about this one because it's a little bit of a bigger watch. In fact, one of the things I want to do, first of all, it's going to be a heavier watch, too, because it's all on stainless steel. In fact, listen to this. 280 grams in weight, Larry.
Yes, it's got a large presence, Shawn.
Wow.
It's about a 50-millimeter case, maybe 49 or 50, but very close. This is our Esprit de Vie, and following up on the Esprit, which was the same watch head on a leather strap, but now we've done it on a nice, solid stainless steel link bracelet. And one of the signature things about our Esprit is that it has a Citizen Miyota 21 jewel model caliber 8247 movement here with the small seconds at the 5 o'clock position. So you have a very, very reliable mechanical automatic movement in this with the Citizen Miyota 8247. But this one, the Esprit de Vie, is from our Esprit Zone in our Lifestyles collection. It's really about, a spirit of life, Shawn, and that's where it gets its name. This is really an eye catcher. It's a big, large chunk of steel. It's a solid stainless steel case, as you pointed out, nearly 300 grams, so you can really feel the weight, but it's all solid steel. And then you look at the dial work that we do, that Stuhrling Original is known for. You've got all the different components on the dial, the multi-level with the sub-dial rings, and you have the high cannon pinion to clear all of that. So, and then this color execution right here, of course, with the black and the orange, is a very striking color combination. One of my favorites, as you know. I always lean towards the black and oranges. Looks great on you, by the way.
I like this one. And again, you're buying from Stuhrling Original Timepieces. Stuhrling is a line that we've had around here a number of years. And they really produce, it's a very prolific watch line. You guys produce a lot of great looks.
This is really one of our finest. We really went out of the box here with the Esprit and the Esprit de Vie. It has been one of our more popular pieces for those guys that really like the larger timepieces. It's taken us a while to creep our way up to the 50-millimeter zone.
I've always said you are creepy, yes.
Shawn, I'm an easy audience tonight, Shawn.
You opened up the door for that line.
I did, but it really does look fabulous. It's also about, I believe, 14.5 millimeters thick, so it does have a nice, a nice presence on the wrist. I
like it, and it is a heavier watch. I weighed this earlier, to use your word, creeping up there on almost 300 grams in weight. 49-millimeter approximate case diameter. I'm just going to double-check that one very quickly. It is 50. I thought it was 50. Larry had said 50. It is indeed a 50-millimeter case diameter. So you can still grab one, V91404, first time seen at this new low price. Any other show, we might have spent a little bit more time talking about that one, but we're really very anxious to get to our once-only item, and so we're going to kind of dive right into that. You have already said this is one of your favorite items of the show, so it's time to take a look at our once-only item. And indeed, this has been, I should say, in other styles, other variations, one of the most popular Stuhrling watches of the past few years. This is the Alpine. You may recognize it. I own basically this same watch in the black and white on a leather strap. You're about to get yours on the most unique, I could use the term bracelet, I could use the word strap almost comfortably here, and you'll see why in just a second. There are 3 color choices. We have this available in a silver tone black, or the 2 you're going to see over here, the rose tone black or the silver tone gold tone. all three of these. The silver tone, gold tone here is the most limited. However, I could easily see the rose tone black catching up and being the first one to go. So I don't know. I like the silver tone black choice. That's the one I own on a leather strap, but you're getting on a stainless bracelet. Now, once only. That means this price of $87.69 is valid right now until midnight Eastern time tonight. So you got 4 hours to get in on this. However, we're anticipating this will be sold out before we even get close to midnight. I'm here for 2 hours, then Daniel Green's going to take over for 2. By the time I leave, this will probably be completely sold out. This has been a huge success story for Stuhrling, the Alpine in general, I mean.
Definitely so. The Alpine is an all-time signature piece now for, the last 4 years. And this is new, the new Alpine Challenge for 2010, where we did put it on a mesh bracelet. However, if you notice, take a look at the solid end-link integration on this. Very stylish. It seamlessly integrates to the case, and the design of that end-link fits the design of the timepiece perfectly. But all the signature characteristics are still there of the original Alpine. You have the big, large, domed crystal on there, which is the calling card for this piece. You see the scalloped edges of the case on this large tonneau-shaped case. This is about a 45-millimeter case here, Shawn. Also, the signature cigar-style hands that are filled with super luminova. I don't know if we have a luminous shot on this in the system, but if we do, let me say this. This one here, I mean, it lights up like a Christmas tree, Shawn. You can see this in the dark. It's just fantastic. And I want to reach out for a moment here to anybody that has never purchased a Stuhrling original before, or maybe you're new to watches here on ShopNBC. There is absolutely no battery in this watch. This is being run by a mechanical automatic engine. And I guess we do have a lume shot.
Yeah, you'll be able to see those cigar-style hands glow in the dark. Now, again, with extended, you know, that's a quick little burst under the light, and then they take that shot with an extended glow. They do, with an extended period under the light, they do glow even more. But let me show you, going back to Larry's thought about the movement here, because there is no battery. This is what we call the art of watchmaking. You can look through here and see the mechanics. The mechanical automatic movement that is winding. By winding, I mean that rotor in there. That's one way to wind this. Or you can manually wind it yourself. But that's art of watchmaking from decades gone by, from maybe your grandfather's, great-grandfather's generation. We didn't have the quartz watches until, well, within my lifetime, when they were invented and brought onto the scene. So for anybody my age or older, this is really the only way that they remember owning and wearing watches. All of those components, every part that's there basically is there for a reason, and when working together like the engine of your car, take out a spark plug and your car isn't going to work, take out one of those parts and it's not going to work. Lowest price ever offered on this watch at $87.69. Larry has on the rose tone option. We have to take a second and explain this bracelet, though, Larry, because this is such an ingenious stainless bracelet.
Yes, it is. It's a stainless steel mesh bracelet, and if you'll notice, typically with mesh bracelets, you're going to see some kind of a crimping device as a buckle. In this instance, what we have is we have a tang buckle, and it's a big buckle. It looks like just a big old belt buckle, Shawn.
Yeah, it does.
And it has the steel keepers with the grommets punched right into the mesh bracelet. So it actually acts like what you said right at the top of the presentation, Shawn, was you could call it a strap or you could call it a bracelet, because it's kind of a little hybrid of both. Because typically you don't see the mesh bracelets with the holes, with the grommets and the steel keepers. But that's what's kind of nice. You don't have to size it. By the way, I would say this would be for people north of 7.5-inch wrist size, 7.5 and above. If you're below that, I think the strap might be a little too long. On the other side, though, for all you guys out there that have the large wrists, 9, 9.5, 10, you'll have no problem. This will easily accommodate up to a 10-inch wrist. Here it is on my wrist. I wear an 8-inch wrist size, Shawn, and you can see I have quite a few holes still left to go if I wanted to move it up to 9 or 9.5. But again, this is just really a great opportunity if you've never owned a Stuhrling original before. One of the things, of course, that we're known for, Shawn, as you know, is our mechanical automatics, and in particular our skeletonized mechanical automatics. And our Alpine is our number one all-time selling mechanical automatic skeletonized piece from our Lifestyles collection.
Right.
We have sold literally thousands, and this is a new model design, the Alpine Challenge for 2010. So again, it's a great opportunity to come into the brand and give Stuhrling a try.
Let me do a couple things. First of all, Larry had mentioned wrist size here. I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist. I have this on my wrist. I am in the last hole. I am in the absolute final hole on the strap or on the bracelet. So just do keep in mind what Larry was talking about when it comes to wrist sizes. Again, I have a 6 3/4. Put a tape measure around your wrist. You can figure out, and so you can see how it fits me. I am at one end of the spectrum of the watch. We are very busy on the phone lines. It would really help us out if you can use the website for your ordering, ShopNBC.com. No delay, and we'll have all 3 color options available for you online. So when you log on to ShopNBC.com, there you see our once only item. You click on that, and it takes you right to the item, and it will show you the 3 color options. So you can purchase this in the silver tone black, my favorite, the rose tone black, or the silver tone gold tone. You add your color choice to your shopping cart, you're halfway home. Boy, actually, there's a real good look at that watch movement so you can see through, because there's not a dial per se. I guess if you wanted to describe part of it as the dial, you would describe those propellers, for lack of a better term, as part of the dial, but otherwise it's a skeletonized mechanical automatic movement. There's a slight dome to the crystal, as you can see right there, so it is going to come up off of the wrist just a little bit. I love my Alpine. It is honestly one of my favorite Stuhrlings. It didn't even dawn on me till just a moment ago. Every Stuhrling I have is a mechanical automatic. I love their movement so much. You're getting in at about a 45 millimeter case diameter. The width is about 51.5 if you're counting the crown. Whoop, V91559, first payment, $29.23. We have 3 easy value payments available. So make note of that. We have all 3 color options available as well. Boy, that is so comfortable. It looks like it's maybe a nylon strap. It is not. That's a stainless bracelet, but it fits so well. Anyway, enough said. We're going to revisit this later on. So if you missed it or you know somebody who should see this presentation, we'll be revisiting this in a little bit. In the meantime, we have something that we are going to show you that is brand new as of today. Kimberly debuted this afternoon. Maybe you were at a barbecue, maybe you weren't at home, so it could be your first time that you're seeing this particular El Capo with a special watch week price of $189.16. We are going to honor 4 value payments as well. So we're going to save you another $40 off the Shop NBC price and then divide that to $47.29, your first payment. Now there are 3 options. There's a green, a blue, and a red. Now the variable here are your hour markers and your crown. If you look right around the crown, there's a little touch of that same color that you're selecting.
Absolutely, Shawn. This is our new Il Capo chronograph, and a lot of people may remember the original Il Capo. Well, finally, this is now the follow-up piece. This is the brand new debut here today on Shop NBC. This is from our Gotham series in our Metro collection, and one of our more popular models is the El Capo. Now, this is a 44 millimeter square, which has a case equivalency of 50 millimeters, Shawn, from 10 to 4. So it's a very large presence on the wrist, but I'm sure you're going to show them the curvature of the case.
That's the key to this.
Yes, that's the comfort.
Because Larry's right. When we talk about a case of this size, like, you know, one of the things I want to do, we do this from time to time, get a standard ruler out here too, just to show you. Because if I measure this way, you can see it's just shy of 2 with the crown. Now, if I were to go lug to lug, is that lug to lug? Just about there, almost 2 as well, if not a little bit over. That would be uncomfortable if it wasn't for the curvature that you're having. So this is going to contour the wrist and fit you seamlessly.
Yeah, it's really comfortable.
I'll put this on as well because, again, I have a smaller wrist than Larry, and you'll see that it's going to fit me just as well as it fits you.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. We're kind of opposite ends of the spectrum probably, but you know, another thing is you still have, just like the original El Capo, you still have that really high-grade silicone rubber strap with the tang buckle, so no sizing required, no links to remove, but it does have these steel rod inserts going all the way through the rubber strap, and because of that, it gives it a feel like a bracelet timepiece, like you're wearing a bracelet. Doesn't it feel like a bracelet?
It's a great description, and that it is. It's exactly the feeling that you're getting. Now, as you see this on the wrist, once more, I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist. I'm in the final hole on this strap. So if you have a smaller than 6 3/4, we'll see if we can find something else for you. And really, there's no room to sometimes you could pound in another hole. There isn't really space to do that here because of those stainless integrated sections, and you don't want to mess that up. So those are solid pieces of stainless steel that are running through this rubber strap. It's a 24mm strap, and you can see how that is custom designed for this spectacular case. The dial work on this, though, it by the way, is on a quartz chronograph movement, and that is kind of integrated among this beautiful dial texturing that Stuhrling has done.
Yeah, it's like a vertical Côte de Genève style.
Yes,
and you'll notice the coloring on it is like a gunmetal gray, and all those indices as far as the, the 3, the 9, and all the hour indices have that kind of gunmetal color, and then the execution, whether it be the red, green, or blue, is on the outline, which is very subtle. But when we found out when we did the original Il Capo, it was the black PVD case. It was the black case Il Capo that was the most popular. So on these 3 executions on the new Swiss chronograph timepiece, and this is an ISA 8171, I'll talk a little bit about that, but we did all 3 of the new executions in the black cases. So whichever one you want, you are getting the black PVD case. Now, I mentioned this does have the Swiss ISA 8171 movement, and it's a very reliable Swiss quartz chronograph movement. And which, if you're new to watchmaking, what that means is it has a separate timing device just like a stopwatch, which is kind of nice to have. But with the Swiss ISAs, Shawn, one of the things you just showed, the really smooth sweep,
yes,
is because it has what we call a high pulse rate. It's 5 beats per second. So you do see that really smooth sweep. These ISA movements are very, very reliable. They run like a top. So you have a great engine in this piece, Shawn.
Now, 3 color choices right here. It's very straightforward. There's the red, there's the blue, there's the green. They each have everything else identical, the same movement. We have the black color, a very stealthy look throughout this, and fewer than 100 remaining. And every single one of these, any could be the first to go. V91549. Special brand new today watch week price of $189.16, and we have 4 equal and easy value payments of $47.29. Please continue to call in. Now, we are still taking your calls on our once only at $87.69. Hundreds of you already ordered this now. That's taking care of a good amount of our quantity. Make note of this item number, V91559. It's the first time we've shown that, and it will never again be at that price. Once only is the lowest price ever offered on an item. V91559. Something you want to add to your order would be our Invicta Pro Diver V91646. You add that to any watch, or, and this is important, any watch accessory item, because Terry's going to be joining me for part of next hour with the watch towers. Well, then it's $75. Otherwise, it's $200. So you can add that Pro Diver to any order and get that special purchase with purchase price. And there's just a little overview of the watch. We've not seen that in a couple years, by the way. That's the first time we've had that back in a couple years. So if you just want to buy it, it's $200, but otherwise $75. Back into the Stuhrlings, however, and in fact, the next one that we're going to be sharing with you is one of the just fine examples of the Concorso chronograph. This has only had a couple airings. It's brought out very sporadically, so for many of you, this might be the first time that you are seeing this. We have 4 color choices here. You're ordering based on the accents. We have black, yellow, red, and brown, or dials, I should say. Black, yellow, red, or brown. Now, and I want to make this clear because, there you can kind of see it. It was looking a different color on my screen there. There's the brown dial. Your price is $127.18. But 5 value pays, or 4, I beg your pardon, is it 4 value pays on this? 4 value pays. I have some erroneous information on my notes here, so I'm sorry about that. 4 value payments can get this one home, and this time you are getting another one that is on a Swiss movement.
Yes, as a matter of fact, this is the newest version of our Concorso. We have about 7 or 8 models in our Concorso series from our Sportsman's Collection, a very, very popular series for us, Shawn. It's actually a very auto race inspired look on this piece. But the predecessor to the Concorso chronograph was the Concorso Di Tempo.
Yes.
And the Di Tempo looked very similar, but it was 44 millimeters. Here we bumped it up to 46 to give you a little bit larger presence on the wrist. And the original one had the Citizen Miyota OS20. This one we bumped up to the Ronda StarTech 5030D. So you do have an all-metal part Swiss quartz chronograph from Ronda StarTech, and it has a 12-hour counter, add and split functionality. You're getting a world-class movement. And we wouldn't have gone to, let's say, a higher grade, a higher level, a more expensive movement, had this not already been a proven winner. Our Concorso series is extremely popular. It's actually inspired by a high-end look in the industry, and many companies are doing looks like this now.
So we do have all of these available. Now, 3 of the choices are going to be on a black strap, 1 of them on a brown strap, obviously the brown dial. Incidentally, I do want to clarify some information that I passed along earlier. I was correct. It is on 5 value payments, so that might help your decision a little bit. $25.44 is going to get that one home. Here's that's the good news. I'm afraid I passed along bad news as well. We have fewer than 4 dozen available in any of the color choices. So this is starting to get rather limited in our inventory. Larry's right, though. Larger case size coming in this time at 46 millimeter case diameter, as you see that on Larry's wrist. I also just want to point out, if you wanted information as far as the width with the crown, it is pushing then 50 millimeters when you add in the crown. Diameter goes 10 to 4, and you don't count pushers, so that's why that number will be different than the width, because then you're going 9 to 3, and I am including the crown in that size. On a Swiss movement, so you're getting in on a great, accurate, reliable, dependable timepiece, but with the added bonus of that chronograph complication. Beautiful round case. The bracelet, excuse me, the strap on this is wonderful. It's a leather strap, but it has almost a carbon fiber sort of look to it, the way that the texturing is done on the outside. So once more, correcting ourselves, 5 value pays is correct. $25.44, so pays to be in right now on that one. Our spotlight item for this hour is the Apocalypse Trifecta. That's priced at $129.86, and we are going to honor 5 value pays on that one as well. So there you're seeing $25.97 is your first payment. Now, coming up next hour as a spotlight item, something else on a mechanical automatic movement. A mechanical movement on this one. Surprise price of $179.87 will be made available. You can purchase it now if you would like. Otherwise, a full presentation will be coming up in our second hour of 4. Remember, it's a 4-hour Stuhrling show. I'll be here for the first 2. Daniel will take over then at 10 o'clock. We've got a huge must-watch event. Every night between 8 and midnight, we're going to have 4 hours of watches. So you can tune in basically any night in prime time and see some of our favorite watch brands. Tonight, it's all Stuhrling. I'll be sharing some others with you along the way, though, and 3 or more value pays on every one of these items. I want to start this next presentation in a very different sort of manner, because when we talk about large watches, big timepieces, that's kind of an opinion statement. Let me begin with some numbers for you that might hit home when I say large, what I mean. I'm going to give you a case diameter on this, and I don't know if that's the most important number yet, 49 millimeters in diameter. Width, same thing about 49. Now, if I go 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, this is a 53 millimeter long watch. But listen to this one. Case thickness, over 16 millimeters thick. Inside of this case is a mechanical automatic movement that I frankly love. Your price is $138.67. 3 value pays of $46.22 can get this one home, V91403. This watch has been seen a few times before, but it's the first time seen at this new low price. So you're getting this large case, this great mechanical automatic movement at a brand new price tonight, Larry.
Well, this is really a connoisseur's kind of a piece. This is a collector's kind of a piece for a few reasons. Well, first of all, the dial design is spectacular, but the movement itself, the complications, this is a mechanical automatic with no battery off of a single mainspring. You're getting a day of the week indication coming off of the same subdial as the seconds. Now, if you come in really tight, and here we come, thank you, you can actually see the second disc rotating around, and to have your days of the week coming off the same it's just an amazing complication. And then to take it another step further, you have a retrograde date in the center of the dial coming off of the same cannon pinion as your hours and minutes. This is watchmaking. This is, like I say, a collector's kind of a special piece. It's very large. I'm going to show the presence on the wrist here so you get an idea of what Shawn was trying to convey through numbers to you. Yeah. But again, I don't know what's more spectacular, the movement and complications or the design that we've packaged it in. This is a very large to no shaped case, a big chunk of just solid 316L stainless steel.
Yes.
It's not a cast case. It's actually blanked from a solid bar of steel. And then we look at all the dial work on this. It's very, very impressive. You must have an extremely tall, what we call a cannon pinion. That's the axis in the center to stick way up so that the hour hand and the date hand actually do not, they have to clear all of that subdial operation down there at 6 o'clock, Shawn.
Now, I want to show you something about this watch movement that just kind of blows me away. And there's a lot actually about this watch movement that is very distinctive. Larry talked about the seconds display and the day display being down together. I pulled the crown out on this and I'm going to start moving ahead the time so you can see that right now I have this set at about 8 o'clock roughly right there. But watch this outer hand because you're going to see as I move the time forward, there's actually two other hands that are moving around. Now, what is that doing there, Larry?
Well, the big long one, that's your minute hand.
Right.
And then the one with the double-sided arrow is your hour hand. And you'll notice, Shawn, if you stop it for 1 second anywhere, I don't care where, it's right now, it's got it between 6 and 7. See the arrow between 6 and 7?
Yep.
And the minute hand is somewhere around between...
About 30. There, I'll put it right at 30.
So now it's 6:30. But as Shawn continues to go around with the hour hand, watch what happens. 7 o'clock. And here's 8. And when you'll notice when it passes 9, now it's the hour hand is pointing to the outer track of numbers.
Right over there.
So that's your hour indicator. Now it's 10 o'clock. So once you get used to reading it, it's very simple, but it's just a very unique way of showing your time, Shawn.
And then this other hand, let me get these out of the way, here is pointing towards this row of numbers where your date display is. See, it starts at 1 and goes to 31 over here.
And what makes that so unique is being a retrograde, when it gets to 31, it snaps back to 1, and we've all seen retrogrades. However, typically when you see a snapback date, it's not coming off of the center axis. It's usually on a subdial or a subarc somewhere else on the dial. So to have that coming off the same cannon pinion as your hours and minutes is just tremendous watchmaking, and that's why I say this is really a connoisseur's kind of a collector's piece. Although if you're brand new, don't be afraid to jump in on something special like this.
Do we have time to go to the phones, or should we wait? Okay, George is joining us, Stuhrling fan from the great state of Texas. George, how are you doing on this holiday weekend?
Gentlemen, happy Memorial today and greetings from Sugar Land, Texas. How are y'all?
Oh, I know where Sugar Land is. Wonderful part of the world.
Yes. I wanted to call to, because I actually have this particular timepiece and the yellow execution that gentlemen are showing tonight. I bought it a few months ago. Definitely not as low as this price. So for those of you Stuhrling individuals and Stuhrling Nation who are looking at this, this is a great price. But I tell you, this is probably one of my unique pieces I have with this particular movement. I'm a very short period of time, starting in March to about now, gentlemen, I have nearly 40 timepieces.
Wow.
And this is definitely one of my favorites. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 different arrows, hands on there. You also have the pushers for the date and for the day of the week. Have this really great size, great presence, and I think you mentioned it was about a 50 millimeter case size with a 26 millimeter band. Leather band, which is extremely soft, comfortable, and I know most of the viewers really can't see it, but if you look on the edge of the leather strap, it's dyed to match the face of the dial, and it's really, really great piece.
Right there is what George is talking about. Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, George.
Exactly, George. And there's the recessed pusher right there. We didn't even identify that during the presentation, but those are the recessed pushers that you're using to adjust your day and your date displays. So, George, thank you for your kind words on the Zephyr.
Thank you, George. Thank you very much.
And a rough connection there with George. Sorry about that, George, but I think we got all the information out that he was trying to pass along. $46.22 is your first easy value payment. So here's what we're going to do, though. We're going to leave this one available. Very differently designed piece, very specific watch movement. Wonderful, you're going to love it. And we are going to move back into something we showed you earlier that got the phone lines crazy. They've calmed down a little bit, but it's going to get crazy once more because this is a once-only price. For those that don't know, let me just share the information that a once-only is valid for a limited period of time. For instance, one time, once only, a show, not even a day. We have until midnight Eastern time for you to take advantage of this once-only price. The other very important bit of information on a once-only item is that it's the lowest price the item will ever be offered at. You may see this watch again. I can tell you it will be more than $87.69 if it gets presented again on the network. It is a guarantee of the lowest price this item will ever be at on ShopNBC. There are 3 color choices. There is a rose tone gold or a rose tone black, a silver tone gold tone, and my favorite, the silver tone black. This is one of the latest executions of one of Stuhrling's really signature items it has become, hasn't it?
Without a doubt, absolutely, it's a signature item for us. You know, Shawn, we're getting ready for JCK, and that's the big jewelry show in Las Vegas. It's a trade show, and we have to decide which watches we're going to display. We can effectively display somewhere around 250 watches in our exhibit, but we have more than 1,500 to choose from.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not so
good
easy.
Point.
But we have one whole section, you know, set up and ready to go for the Alpine, with the Alpine Challenge and the original 6 executions of the Alpine and our Lady Alpine Slalom and the Men's Alpine Slalom. So we have one whole section because this is, again, as you pointed out, it is a signature piece for us. And
yes.
We wouldn't think about leaving the Alpine behind. It's such an important piece in our collection.
So a once-only price, valid for this show and this show only, of $87.69. For those that missed the presentation earlier, I'm just going to take a second. Let me steal one of these away. Do we have dual samples? We just have the one set of samples? We just have the one set? Okay. And get you some dimensions here. Your case diameter is about 45 millimeters. Your width is about 51.5, almost 52 millimeters. Your case thickness, and this is kind of an important number because it's 17 millimeters thick. Now, anybody hearing that number is going to think of the watch we just showed you. Big, blocky case. That is the highest point measuring from the back to the top of the crystal. Most of the watch is not going to be that thick because what the calipers just did was measure to the highest part of the dome crystal on this. And it's a tremendous way to get a dome, I guess, dome crystal on your wrist.
And Shawn, that is a great shot right there to see the slope and the curvature of those sloping lugs. Something we may have overlooked in our first presentation.
I think we did.
But it is the signature of the Alpine, is the curvature and slope of the lugs. They wrap the wrist so comfortably. It truly is one of our most comfortable timepieces that we make because of the slope of the lugs. But again, as we pointed out earlier, all of the signature characteristics of the Alpine are certainly present here. Everything about the Alpine is a little blown out. You have a big domed crystal, a big bulbous style crown, the blown out scalloped edges on the tonneau-shaped case, the blown out cigar style hands are kind of puffy. You notice that? Even the propeller style faceplate has got a certain element of puffiness to it. But you know, again, I really like to use this as an opportunity because Stuhrling Original, we are really known for our skeletonized mechanical automatics. We probably do have more than 50 or 60 different skeletonized mechanical automatic timepiece models that we make. And this is #1 from our Lifestyles collection. We've done thousands of these. This is the newest version here in 2010, our Alpine Challenge. It's got a refreshed rotor design. You see our guillotine style of rotor with the new logo design on it, the perlage and Genève striping that we have on the case back, on the rotor and the back plates, I should say. But again, I'm reaching out to new people that have never bought a watch from Stuhrling Original. This is a great opportunity to come in and find out what our brand is all about, because when you own a skeletonized mechanical automatic, Shawn, it's not just a timepiece to tell time. It really is a commitment to your own sense of personal style. It's a conversation piece. You're sharing your love and appreciation for watchmaking. And by the way, Shawn, we have learned through the last 4 years with our Alpine that the ladies like this piece too.
Oh yeah.
And we do have a ladies Alpine as well with a smaller case size, but we know from experience that a lot of ladies like this case size.
Yes.
They like this 45, 46 millimeter case size. They buy it, they love it, they wear it. But again, I want to make that effort to reach out to the new people out there to say, hey, this is an opportunity on this once only to really find out what Stuhrling Original is all about, and the quality. It's solid steel, every aspect of it. And Shawn is showing you now that beautifully designed solid end link that integrates so perfectly to the case design of the Alpine. It's got.
When you're wearing this and it's attached, I took the one end off to illustrate that, it almost looks like this is some sort of a separate piece that is somehow attached underneath this It's not. This is all attached together. Solid stainless steel everywhere here. This is not a mesh nylon or something. I don't know how it looks in your television, but I could see where one might almost get the idea that this was some sort of a nylon mesh bracelet, especially with the opening sections there, the holes, if you will, going down it. You would think that that is where your buckle is going to clasp through. Well, you do have a buckle clasping through, but it's stainless steel locking through stainless steel.
Yes, and by the way, it does have quick release pins. That's why Shawn was able to just take it out with his finger. And you know, if you have a 23 millimeter strap, because it is 23 millimeters between the lugs on this, which is an uncommon size, those kind of straps are available out there in the marketplace. However, if you did have a 23 millimeter strap, you could actually, you know, interchange it. But if you did want to take the strap off, it does come with the quick release pins.
So, you know, that's your option. I think one of the reasons you're purchasing this is because of this bracelet. So I would hope that you're leaving it intact on this great bracelet. You're picking up on a great, and Larry said it so well, I don't know what else I can add to it, a great way to introduce yourself to the Stuhrling original line of timepieces. This is a phenomenal way for you to get in and experience Stuhrling for yourself for the very first time and get in on one of the iconic Stuhrling original timepieces here. Stuhrling original, give me the short, because we don't have a lot of time, version of how Stuhrling got started. Well,
Stuhrling original, we're all about respect for the art and tradition of the Swiss watchmaking legend, and that goes to the make of every aspect of our timepieces, and it's also goes to our exclusive manufacturing relationship with Claro, which is George J. von Berg, is our exclusive manufacturing partner, headquartered in Bellinzona, Switzerland. But we do it outside the borders of Switzerland in order to be able to bring these affordable prices. Otherwise, we would not be able to bring timepieces like this with Swiss engineering and Swiss craftsmanship and Swiss technology at these kind of prices.
Once only price, I have to stress once more, is just that. The clock is ticking, not just literally on your screen for this presentation, but for your time to purchase this item. At midnight Eastern time tonight, any remaining quantity does go back up in price, and it's going to go up fairly dramatically, considering that right now it's $87.69 and the ShopNBC price is $128.50. There have been, in the other versions of the Alpine, thousands and thousands of you that have purchased these timepieces, not just here but elsewhere.
Yes.
So for you to get in on one on a stainless bracelet, which is going to be more money, to be able to get the same great watch movement. I gave you the case dimensions earlier. One thing I suppose I can do, I'll just drop this on the scale. It's not the heaviest watch in the world. If you're afraid that with all that stainless it's going to weigh a ton, doesn't. 158 grams in weight. 158 grams is a nice, comfortable gram weight. So write this number down, V91559. We've taken 31% off of our ShopNBC price. And if you go to the website, shopnbc.com, that's the way to order it. And if you go to the top there and see on today, you can actually check out every single item in the hour there at Updated to take you through that purchase with purchase item. There's your once only right there. So you click on that and it's going to take you to the 3 color choices. Because at this moment in time, we still have all 3 color options available, so you can pick that up in the rose tone black, in the silver tone gold tone, or the silver tone black, my favorite of the 3. They're all great choices, but that one in particular is kind of nice. Poor Tanya, she's our lovely model this evening, and she has been sitting around wrapped up because she's freezing in here, reading a good book, looking for something to do. Well, we have a watch for the ladies now, so she's eagerly getting set to share with you the white mother-of-pearl execution of the Audrey Freedom gift set. This is kind of neat. It's priced at $119.24, surprise price, 5 easy value payments of $23.85, because now there's no choice. It's white mother-of-pearl. That's what you're going to get. But you will get 3 different ways that you can wear this, because you will get 3 different straps with it.
Yeah, actually, this is the red color option, and of the other ones are already sold out. But
yes.
Whichever one you would have ordered, you would have also got the white crocodile embossed leather strap and the black satin twill for evening, and it comes with a red ostrich embossed leather strap as well with the white mother. So the nice thing about it is that you're getting 3 different looks on one watch. The benefit, of course, is you buy one watch, but you can get 3 different personalities with this timepiece. And, you know, Shawn, Stuhrling Original has become a leader in the industry as far as doing not only mechanical automatic timepieces for the ladies, but skeletonized mechanical automatic timepieces for the ladies. And in this instance, it's not fully skeletonized on the dial, but you do have an open heart. And Shawn, it's in the shape of a butterfly.
It certainly is.
And that's why it's the Audrey Freedom Butterfly set.
A beautiful butterfly right there over in the 9 o'clock position. And then in the other positions, meaning the 12, the 3, the 6, and the 9, you have a sparkly sort of display there for your Arabic numerals. Notice, however, the quality, the orient coming out of that mother of pearl, all the different colors and the different tones, which incidentally will change depending on what you're wearing with it and also depending on the watch strap that you have on. If you put on that red strap, it's going to look completely different. How can I show you? Well, similar to what I did a moment ago to show you the bracelet on our last watch, there are quick change pins on the back here. So by releasing that, pulling down on that little lever, I can remove this watch strap. So just like that quickly I've taken it off. And there again is your mechanical automatic movement. Now I'm going to do the same thing in reverse, starting with the red version, because the black is also included. Whoops, I thought I had that locked in and I didn't. So we'll try this once more. This one's set up so I have to use my thumb, and I'm not
Better
used
you
to
than
doing
me,
that.
Shawn.
There we go. So there is, well, darn it. Third time is the charm. Is it locked in that time? It's locked in that time. Live television. Now, there immediately you start to see the difference with the mother of pearl. It does get more of a pinkish reddish tone coming out of it.
Yeah, the mother of pearl that we use is absolutely exquisite. It's genuine grade A mother of pearl. We use the largest mother of pearl farm in the world down in Australia for our mother of pearl. But one of the things that we always strive to do with Stuhrling Original on the lady side of the business is strive to maintain the same level of technical achievement for the ladies as we do for the men. We're not just cranking out fashion timepieces or baubles or trinkets. These are professional timepieces. These cases are blanked from solid 316L steel. This is a 20 joule mechanical automatic movement in this piece that beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour. You have, again, 20 joules, 34 hours of power reserve. Now, the original Audrey, Shawn, was done last year in 2009, and it came out with 35 points of diamonds, and therefore it was many times the cost of this. What we did is, for the Audrey Freedom set, we replaced the diamonds with genuine Swarovski crystals. So you still have the beautiful look and sparkle. So, for so many years, Shawn, the mechanical automatics have been something that the guys have worn with pride.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And as conversation pieces to share their appreciation of watchmaking. Well, now we've done it for the ladies, but we've done it in a feminine orientation.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely an exclusively feminine look on this particular timepiece. There you see Tanya wearing this. It is about 36 millimeters in case diameter. So, by today's standards, more of a lady-sized timepiece. Guys, you probably have some older watches in your collection of that size, but the designing on this makes it just for the ladies out there. You can see how perfect that is. Now, if Tanya were getting dressed up and she was going out for a special evening, maybe a nice romantic dinner for two, then she would probably put on that black strap that is included. And then maybe for a daytime event, she has the white strap that she can wear. This is actually a customer choice item. Again, your reviews have made this a customer choice item, so I'm going to share a couple of those with you. I purchased this watch as a gift for my wife without knowing she had been eyeing it for some time. When I gave it to her, she broke out in tears saying how much she loved the watch and me. Thank you for making a great watch, and my wife very happy, from Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you for that review. Just reading the one? We'll just read the one. Oh, we are going to read the other one. Okay. Absolutely lovely. I have the white mother of pearl with the red leather strap. The two additional leather straps are definitely a plus. Initially, the bezel was considerably larger than those on other timepieces I own, but the sight of this timepiece on my wrist totally blew me away. It is absolutely lovely. Baby girl from Raleigh, North Carolina, with that great review. So again, I have to show you one of the neat things about this is how this comes. And the presentation, Stuhrling has taken their iconic and their original Stuhrling Original gift box and customized it for this watch. So what you're going to get looks like any other Stuhrling original gift box right there. But when you open it up, inside will be laid out the watch on one of the straps. I don't know how it comes. And then your 2 additional straps will be placed inside of the box, all ready to go.
Their box will have watches in it, right, Shawn?
Yeah, I would hope so. Yes, I would hope so.
You know, one of the ingenious things about this design on the Audrey is that typically when you have what we call an open heart style, which is a reveal in the dial showing the balance wheel, it's done with a circular cutout. But on the Audrey, it's done with the butterfly cutout, so you see the balance wheel fluttering. So it's kind of like a fluttering butterfly, Shawn.
Indeed it is. I like that description.
You see that?
And there, I absolutely see that. And of course, you can see the stainless steel surrounding that, stainless steel case here. Exhibition case back. Now, we are getting down to the final couple hundred of these to go around. Almost 600 of you have ordered this, just a couple hundred remaining. The white mother of pearl on the red leather strap with the black strap as well, and the white you see in the background there. Surprise price in effect of $119.24, less than $1 a day cash equivalency when you consider the value pays of $23.85. So something just for the ladies out there. I do want to take it a moment and remind you about our spotlight item because we've already sold through a ton of these. This is a watch we were able to get back at the Apocalypse Trifecta on a leather strap. 1,100 of you have ordered this one. Your price is $129.86 for a watch week. And of course, 5 value pays of $25.97. Coming up in just a few minutes, we are going to get to another spotlight item, the Brumaldia. That's a mechanical timepiece. Great case size on that one too, and a surprise price of $179.87. 4 payments, $44.97. So we're going to come right back. We're just getting warmed up here. That was 1 hour. We have 3 more Stuhrling original timepiece hours. I'll be with you for 1, and then Daniel takes you through the final 2. Right now, we have these words of great interest.
Well, gemstones have been a passion of mine for about 20 years now, and it has taken me literally all over the world. But one of the most interesting things is how difficult it is to find them. Mother Nature protects her gems very, very carefully. And finding out where they come from and ultimately giving that information to the ShopNBC viewer is one of the things I love best about what I do. Please join me on my search for the most unique, one-of-a-kind gemstones on the Gem Insider here on ShopNBC.
At ShopNBC, we understand your passion for collecting timepieces of sophisticated quality that are precious beyond value.
So we put together a show suited for the passionate watch collector.
If you're an aspiring collector, we'll give you invaluable advice to form initial impressions with a strategy that will optimize your success.
Collector connoisseurs complement your existing collection or find new pieces that will better suit your particular taste.
Tune in to the Watch Collectors during the Summer Must Watch event and get 3 value pay or more on all timepieces.
Join us for the Watch Collectors.
Discovering, understanding, and appreciating the quality and value of perfection does not get better than this.
Stay up to the minute on everything you love about ShopNBC. We'll let you in on our biggest surprises, special sales, events, and so much more. Join the community of smart shoppers for great offers and unique finds. Go to shopnbc.com now and download our new and improved iPhone app. Become a fan on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're with you wherever you are. ShopNBC anywhere.
Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. It's a Monday evening. Many of you, most of you, I'm sure, probably getting ready to go back to work tomorrow. But I hope you can spend the next hour with us. The next 3, ideally. Daniel takes over next hour for more Stuhrling. Got some big things coming up in the show, however. I want to take just a moment of your time, mention our must-watch event, and the 3 things that are most important. We have special pricing on all watches on air. That's important. 3 or more value pays on all watches on air and at ShopNBC.com. That's very important. And if you're gifting these, guaranteed arrival by Father's Day. We're 3 weeks out from Father's Day now. 3 weeks from yesterday, actually. So do think about gifting one of these for Dad. In this hour, we will revisit, and you're still calling, and you can still call in on our once only. This is the Alpine Challenge Skeleton Automatic at $87.69. Lowest price we will ever have on that watch, V91559. I've always loved the Madman timepiece. We have one available here, and it's 46% off of the Shop NBC price. Limited edition on those, $159.76 is your watch week price, V91219. I want to mention that we do have a little extra something. Think about adding to your order. And I love this watch. This is the original Invicta watch I ever purchased. In fact, it wasn't even here. It was someplace else a decade ago. We haven't seen this in a couple of years, and it's back. It is the Miyota Automatic Blue Dial two-tone bracelet watch. $200 is your price, but if you add that to any watch order, it's $75. So we have that available. Add it to your order because you're saving more than you're spending. Any watch or watch accessory order. Stuhrling Original for another hour here. Actually, 3-hour show. Daniel will take my chair. Larry is going to stick around for 2 more hours, however, for those that don't know him. Larry Magen, President of North American Operations for Stuhrling Original Timepieces.
Thank you very much, Shawn. Welcome, everybody, on a Memorial Day evening here. It's great to be here, and it's been great so far. And now, to start off the hour, one of my all-time favorites, one of our best, the Brumalia.
The Brumalia is back, and we have a special Spotlight surprise price. Here it is. Well, let's see. What can I tell you? We have sold hundreds of these since it debuted, and that was just a few weeks ago. We have new colors of this popular timepiece, which has sold, in the other version, nearly 1,000 of them. We have this in the black. We have this in the blue. This is the Brumalia, and it is priced at $179.87. We have 4 easy value payments of $44.97 available. You can pick this up in either of those 2 color choices. First thing I want to mention is the case size on this because it's operating at about a 45 millimeter case diameter. Your width, if you're counting the crown, is 50. The thickness is about 12 millimeters thick. Now, the reason I wanted to get those numbers out of the way is because this is one of those timepieces where pretty much the entire watch is visible. I don't like how I phrase that. What I mean is there's not a lot of bezel. There's not a lot of other things going. It's all visible watch movement. That large mechanical movement has been skeletonized, and pretty much the entire thing is visible, whether it is from the front of the watch, or your dial as it exists or doesn't exist is there, or let me show you from the back. Because there's the look, Larry. There's what people want to see.
Right. Shawn, this is our Brumalia from our boardroom collection, our Labyrinthian series, and it's so graceful, so elegant. It is every bit of a boardroom style piece. But what you're seeing here with the exhibition case back, right now you see the oversized balance wheel that's beating at 18,000 vibrations per hour. And this is a pocket watch movement, Shawn.
Yes,
it's a pure mechanical. And for anybody out there that's, has a collection going, everybody needs to have at least one mechanical in their collection. I know there are collectors, Shawn, that all they want to collect is only mechanicals.
That's true. Yeah,
what that means is, if you're new to watchmaking, is that we already understand a mechanical automatic has no battery, but this one has no rotor. So therefore, you actually must wind it by the crown. It's not going to stay wound by the movement of your wrist. This is watchmaking the old-fashioned way, the way it used to be, maybe for your father or grandfather in the old days, where they had to wind their watches. And this one has about 36 hours to 40 hours of power reserve. I've been getting reports from customers who's telling me they're getting 46 hours on a full wind. But with this one, when you wind it by the crown manually, when it gets fully wound, you're going to feel some resistance. That's enough. Go ahead and stop. And you should get anywhere from 36 to 40 hours on a single wind. Now, here's a very good shot right here. If you look at the 5 o'clock position, you'll actually see the mainspring. And we call it an oversized mainspring because it's actually a little bit larger than what you find in a wristwatch, because this is actually a pocket watch movement. And you can actually see just a little bit of space between the bands and the coil there. So if Shawn were to tighten it up, although I'm not suggesting that he did that.
And not a lot of room.
Yeah, when it gets tight to a certain point, then it's not a competition sport. Don't keep going,
Larry.
But again, this is a very elegant and dressy timepiece. We call it a boardroom style piece. This case design, Shawn, from our boardroom collection, is the signature is the double milled, double step design bezel. And it's the same case design as we had on our Saturnalia. Many of you may remember that. And these are two new colors for 2010 on our Brumalia, the black and the blue. And you see it's the double milled, double coin edge bezel there. It's a 45 millimeter case design, which in a dress timepiece like this is about the upper limits of a dress piece, 45. So it does have a very nice presence on the wrist. I'm actually wearing or holding the blue 45
I like that
millimeter.
blue.
Well, the blue is fabulous.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
You could even pull it off on blue jeans if you want to wear a.
Oh yeah.
You know, if you're one of those kind of guys that wears those, business casual blue jeans and a sport coat kind of a thing, to the office, you could pull off the blue with that. One of the other beautiful touches on our Brumalia, this is one of our all-time pieces right here, is the beautiful arching bridge at the 9 o'clock position. That's actually your small seconds, which is an extra complication. That's your small second subdial at the 9 o'clock position.
Actually, Larry, I hope he doesn't mind my saying this, but I'm going to anyways. Larry, before the show, said to me, Shawn, you're in a suit and shirt and tie. Should I go put a tie on? And I said, no, don't, Larry. And part of the reason is because on a holiday weekend, most of our friends watching at home haven't had a shirt and tie on since last week. Larry is dressed as you're dressed at home. And I like kind of the contrast that you get. You can see Larry is wearing this just fine with a nice shirt like you would be wearing on the weekend. Tomorrow, however, for most of you, it's back to work. And does that mean getting the suit back out of the closet? Look at this with a suit. I liked it casually dressed. I like it with a suit. You could just as easily wear this watch with a suit. And to Larry's point about the movement, this is, when we say the art of watchmaking, this is what we mean. Mechanics, a mechanical watch movement. I want to invite you sometime when you have about 20 minutes, go to my Facebook page, and I'll tell you why. On my Facebook page, I have a film that I found on the internet that was made back in 1940-something. So we're talking 60 plus years ago, and this film explains how a mechanical watch works. Now, I know you're thinking, well, the film's 40 years old. How up to date is it? You know what? The art of watchmaking in the 1940s is pretty much the same as it is today, so it's very valid. But it breaks down all of these parts. Larry, we talk about mainsprings and all of that. It's and jewels. Why are the jewels there? You can actually see the jewels, and this film explains that. But I guess I'll ask you the question.
Sure.
Why are there jewels in a watch movement?
Well, jewels, they use synthetic rubies, and they call them jewels because they use them at friction points in the watch. With a mechanical automatic timepiece or a mechanical, it's all metal parts. There's no plastic parts. So you have friction points where the metal rubs together. They actually use the synthetic rubies to reduce friction at those friction points to give you longer lasting wear and tear for the movement. So the more complications you have, meaning a complication is anything other than simple time, hours, minutes, and seconds, the more complications you have, the more gears you have. The more gears you have, the more jewels you have. So that's what the jewels are used for, Shawn.
Is it going to be more complicated to make a watch where the second hand is set in this particular position? Because here on this watch, my second hand's over at 9 o'clock.
That is, yes, Shawn, good question. Normally, when you talk about hours, minutes, and seconds as simple time, anything other than that is a complication. However, to your point, when you take the second hand off the center axis, now that becomes a complication.
Okay.
So yes, the small seconds at 9 o'clock is an extra complication. And to me, one of the beautiful things about our Brumalia, which has been 2 years now, a little over 2 years, we came out with the Brumalia, and it's become one of our big leaders from our boardroom collection. It is stunning.
I adore this one. The overall watch size, again, about a 45, 46 millimeter case diameter, and pretty much it's all watch movement that is visible there. I do want to mention, we have fewer than 100 in each one of these. My favorite's the black. I don't know. There's just something very almost stealthy about the black version. Might be a little more appropriate with a suit, perhaps. You decide. If you're a big fan of the blue, I don't want to talk you out of that one.
Well,
but
black goes with everything, Shawn.
You know what? There it is. Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, Larry, you're absolutely right. This is the watch that you're going to wear with absolutely everything.
But on the other hand, what I love about this blue one, besides the beautiful color, but look at this is a 24 millimeter wide, genuine French leather strap with an alligator embossed. Look at this blue strap, and it does have the push-button dual deploying clasp, which actually saves wear and tear, on the leather strap. And on the blue choice, you do have the blued push-button dual deploying clasp as well. So, I don't know,
That's
the blue
a good
is very
point.
elegant too.
I don't know. What do you like at home? Right now, the blue, I believe, did you say the blue is the most limited? Black is caught up now? Black is now the most limited. So there you go. That shows what can happen when a watch becomes very, very popular. So get the one you like. I guess that's what it boils down to. You know your wardrobe. You know what you're going to wear more often than not. And so if you're interested in either one, we have fewer than 100 now total remaining. So we've sold through about half of that quantity just in this presentation here. The surprise price is valid while the item lasts. And I think tonight we're going to be saying goodbye to this. We have sold in a different item number, different color combinations, nearly 1,000 of them, and now we have just a handful remaining right here on a mechanical 17 jewel, to Larry's point earlier, mechanical movement. Notice too the decoration here. Now that's not standard with just any mechanical movement.
Yes, absolutely, Shawn. What's remaining of the back plates has been decorated with engraved scroll work, and it's just more labor intensive. They decorate it because you know it's going to be seen. And with Father's Day around the corner, being a pure mechanical, something that is a throwback to the old days, a pure mechanical would make an incredible gift for Father's Day.
Oh, absolutely. Father's Day, June 20th, less than 3 weeks away. So if you do want to get, and you'll get it in time for Father's Day, we are promising you all week during Watch Week, guaranteed Father's Day delivery. So again, about a 45 millimeter case diameter, approximately 40-hour power reserve when it's fully wound. And Larry brought up a good point earlier. Don't go over winding these. You'll be able to tell when you hit that point when there's not as much to give to the crown as there was a moment ago. Then okay, time to stop. And just enjoy wearing it. $44.97 is your first value payment, V91539. So write down that item number and enjoy your Brumalia in either the black or in the blue. Both color choices are available. We're going to stay in the mechanical automatics with my next piece. And in fact, this is the Metropole Open Heart. The Open Heart is that little window at 9 o'clock where you can look through and see the movement. Hey, this watch is being seen for the first time on 4 value payments. So you're getting in on this at a value pay of $31.20. 33% has come off of our ShopNBC price. I'm going to get to the sizes right away because it almost looks like a vintage watch, so maybe you're thinking it's a smaller case size. If I go 10-4 on this, it's 46 millimeters. Your width, counting the crown, is 44. I'm going to go lug to lug and then 12-6. Lug to lug, it's 58. 12-6, it's about 45.25 millimeters. So yes, even though it has a bit of a vintage look, Stuhrling has designed this and manufactured this to the needs and the wants, and I can almost go so far as to say the demands of today's watch consumer.
Well, definitely so. This is a very large timepiece as far as I'm concerned, especially for a dress piece, but we've done it properly, Shawn.
Yes, you have.
This is our ST90089 movement, which is a skeletonized mechanical automatic movement. Now, we don't have a fully skeletonized dial, but what we do have is we have an open heart reveal over on the left-hand side of the dial, and it's done in a rectangular shape to mimic the shape of the overall case design. And this is from our Metro collection, our Metro series, and all of the timepieces in our Metro collection, like the Magen that's Chrono that's coming up later, the limited edition. They're all these large rectangular case designs like big buildings, and the Metropole actually was one of the first 2 models in the series to launch the entire series between the Metropole and the Magen. So this is a very popular series for us. We started the series last year, and it has become a really a leader for us, and because of the edgy, modern, this is what the industry is going towards now, these big type of timepieces. Now, you couldn't do a timepiece of this size unless you did it properly, and what I mean by that is the curvature of the case. If you're going to have a large rectangular case design, you're going to have a good curvature, a proper curvature for the wrist, otherwise it won't sit properly on the wrist. And this sits fantastically, and I know one of us two is going to show it, but my point is on that, one of the things that goes to the fit is, if you notice, the seamless integration of the leather strap to the case. It has the platform inserts that are sewn into the leather strap that gives you like solid end link integration. It's not just a little pin that's kind of flimsy on there, and you need that for this kind of a size of a hefty, significant kind of case. Can you feel that support?
Yeah, and that's one of those things that's hard on television to really well, here, let me do this, because if I try and pull this back, there, you can see that that's the extent of how far this is going to go back. If that was just a pin right there, well, this would move freely to and fro. But there you can see how there's something in there holding that in place. Okay, good long look at this watch. Let's put it on the wrist here so you can see this, so you can get an idea of how this is going to wear on the wrist. And it's got a wonderful dual deployment clasp mechanism too.
Yeah, this is a fabulous offer here in the Must Watch event. I know if Stuhrling Nation is up and paying attention, they're going to be all over this, Shawn. This is really one of our more popular pieces. If you're new to Stuhrling Original, you're new to ShopNBC or watchmaking out there, this one I'm going to try to steer you towards this, because this is truly a tremendous value here today. And here's a good look on Shawn's wrist at the presence on the wrist. It really is a nice presence. And this is what we call a sandwich style case. It has a case back, it has a case main body, and a case top, and all three of them are curved, which is more expensive to do. One thing you can do to kind of cheat that is you have a flat case and a flat top side, but you only have a curved case back. But here, all three elements are curved, which includes the crystal as well. So there's a great expense here. This really is one of the finer values we've seen tonight, Shawn.
I really like this one. It's a great kind of a vintage sort of look, which I'm a big fan of with Stuhrling. Of the Stuhrlings I own, all but the Alpine are really the vintage-inspired pieces. I think Stuhrling does vintage better than anybody else, or classic looks, and those are the ones that are going to be in style forever. There's nothing about this where you would say trendy. We all have those watches we bought on a trend, bought on a whim, wore them for 6 months, the trend ended, now they sit in the jewelry box, watch box, not being worn. This is one that you will wear and enjoy forever. There's the other difference, by the way, with the brown.
Look at that
as
bronze
you can see,
tone.
I was going to point out that bronze sort of sidewall that you get on the case there, which is a great extra, and also that will have the brown strap. Incidentally, at first I looked at this and thought, oh, that looks like Stingray. It's not. That's a leather strap, but it has the bumps that you would see there, which is wonderful. The 91116. 9 3 1s and a 6. $124.82 is your watch week price, and your first value payment of $31.20. Okay, here we go. 9:15. Time to give you your second look, and there's only a couple hours left now on the once only. Oh, we don't get to run the animation again? Oh, that's the reason I came into work. See, we don't get these at 2 in the morning. 2 in the morning, we usually still have today's top value. That had just launched, so we're still dealing with that. But right now, you get a once-only item. I mentioned a moment ago the time. The reason I do that is because at midnight, it's done. It is it's a fait accompli. It is over with. You will be spending more money. I guess the thing we're most concerned about right now, however, is the quantity situation, because if it sells out first, it sells out first. And that's more than likely what's going to happen. We're looking at, I think, Blair, did you say about a third sold out already? A third exactly sold out ahead of time, or to this point. Here are the 3 color options that you have. And there's my favorite. I love the silver tone black. You're ordering based on the strap color, bezel color. So silver tone black. Now that I've explained that, you probably know what this one is. Rose tone black. Everything that you saw a moment ago that was silver tone is described as now rose tone on this piece, plus some other areas too. The third choice is the silver tone gold tone. So order based on whichever one you like. I own basically the Silvertone Black on a leather strap, and it's one of my favorite Stuhrlings. Like I said before, it's the only Stuhrling that is not really a vintage piece. However, true to form, if you wanted to talk vintage once more, we're dealing with that old-fashioned art of watchmaking, this time a mechanical automatic movement. This does have the rotor, which will keep this one wound.
Yeah, very much so.
As long as you're wearing it, I should say.
That's right. And this is what we're known for, is our skeletonized mechanical automatic timepieces. And this is our trusty ST90050 movement on this particular piece. So you're going to get reliability, but to people that are new, and that's I want to make sure that I'm not just assuming that everybody knows what this is. There's no battery in this timepiece.
You're right.
And if you're new to watches and you're used to having to go to the store and replace your watch battery and get a new battery put in, you might want to try a mechanical automatic, because guys all over the country are collecting mechanical automatics like crazy now. It's a throwback to the old days, because you know, we have so many things in our life now, Shawn, that tell us the time. Like our cell phones and laptops, and you drive by the bank and everything. So it's really not about telling the time, although you can tell the time. It's about a commitment to your own sense of personal style. Right. And that's why I think for the last 10 or 15 years, there's been a renaissance of men really collecting mechanical automatics. And it's become quite a hobby thing going on out there, and now ladies are getting into it as well. So if you've never owned a mechanical automatic, believe me when I say this, listen to the right voices, you'll make the right choices. This is a fantastic opportunity to get a skeletonized mechanical automatic from a brand, Stuhrling Original, that is known for making skeletonized mechanical automatics, and this is our #1 all-time selling skeleton mechanical from our Lifestyles collection. The only other one that has sold more, and we've got more than 60 different models, is the Delphi, but that's from our classic collection. Right. This one is the Lifestyles collection, which kind of, in some ways, is maybe even a little more meaningful, because our Lifestyles collection is designed to go anywhere. Sure. You can wear it with jeans, you can wear it with a suit, you can wear it casual, you can wear it to the ballpark, you can wear it to the market. So it gives you more wearability. The classic collection is a little dressier. Okay, so this is the #1 all-time seller from the Lifestyles, and the signature characteristic, Shawn, would be, of course, with this one that has made it so popular, is the big domed crystal, the scalloped edges on the blown-out tonneau style of case. And by the way, this case, again, if you're new to Stuhrling Original, I know all Stuhrling Nation who's watching, they're familiar with our brand, they're familiar with our pieces, they know what I'm saying. But if you're new, I want you to know, go to the mall and try and buy a timepiece in this price range, and you're not going to get blank from solid steel. You can feel the heft, you can feel the significance just by putting it on the wrist. It's from a solid bar of steel. Every aspect of the timepieces goes to the make of the watch, our heritage of Swiss watchmaking, Shawn. And that's what I want to stress. Don't let the price fool you. This is really a special opportunity, the once only, Shawn.
It's a phenomenal opportunity for all the guys and the ladies out there to get in on one of these. I want to stress once more, this is not, I don't know how it looks on your television at home, this is not a nylon bracelet or strap. This is not some sort of a mesh cotton material or something. No, this is a stainless bracelet. If I put the watch on my scale, I can tell you this weighs 159.2 grams, so it is a heavy timepiece. Heavier, I should say, than if it were on a nylon strap. Somebody was just reading my mind in this building. Who made the executive decision to have Tanya put this on? I have to give credit where credit is due. Was that Anna? Was it really? I was going to say, I wonder if we should have Tanya try one of these on, because I think the ladies might want to get an idea how this would fit for the women. And there it is. Go ahead.
But, I'm sorry, no, I was going to say, you know, ladies can definitely wear this. However, I would say if they're going to do that, they're probably going to have to get a leather strap, Shawn.
You think so? Yeah, over the size.
It's not the case. We know that this case.
You're right.
We know that this case fits women because we've sold thousands to women on our leather strap. However, this bracelet is extremely long. Now, which, you know, even if you're in the last hole, you know, if you're a lady with a large wrist, no problem. But I'm just saying that the bracelet, this mesh bracelet, is made to fit literally up to a 10-inch wrist size.
Good point. So,
Okay?
ladies,
I don't want anybody to be fooled.
no, and you're right, and I don't either. I don't want anybody to get this home anticipating that, which is why I always say know your wrist size. For those that don't know, it's as simple as taking a tape measure and wrapping it around your wrist, wherever the strap would go. I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist. Larry has a larger wrist. I am in the final hole on this. So if you have a smaller than 6 3/4 around your wrist, if you have a smaller than 6 3/4, yeah, then you're probably going to want to find a different sort of strap. And how could you deal with that? Well, this is ingenious.
Quick change pin.
There are quick change pins here. So if I go ahead, and we did this with that lady's watch earlier, pull that one out, you can see that I have a quick change pin right there. And incidentally, since we're here, let's explain that end link that you see there.
Well, to me, this is one of the hidden jewels in this timepiece, Shawn, is the solid end link, because the way that it was designed, it just fits into the design of the Alpine so perfectly. It's got seamless integration. I think it was perfect design on this solid end link for the Alpine Challenge.
Well, we're going to go back to the phones, and we are going to, in fact, travel to Larry's state of New York and say hi to Andrew, who's joining us from New York tonight. I don't know if it's city or state. We'll find out. Andrew, how are you doing this weekend?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Good. I keep saying this weekend. The weekend's almost over, however, though. It's back to work forever. You going back to work tomorrow, Andrew?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay. Are you picking up on a Stuhrling tonight?
Yes, it's the first watch I ever picked up on.
No kidding.
Stuhrling. I've been buying Invictus, Swiss Watch International, Renatos, and Invictus.
Okay. Andrew's picking up on the one that we're showing right now, I assume, the Alpine?
Yes.
Why was this the first what was it about this watch that made you say, you know what, I've got to get a Stuhrling timepiece? Andrew?
Because it's an automatic, and I like the gold tone.
Okay, so you picked up
I also picked up on the special on the Invicta for $75.
Oh.
Fantastic.
I have that watch. You're going to love that one. But the automatic version of this was what was important to you?
Yes, because I never had an automatic before.
Oh, no kidding.
That Invicta is an automatic, isn't
The
it?
Invicta is as well, so
We
now
got
you've got
two.
a couple of them coming your
Congratulations,
way.
I tell you, the watch I really loved was that Renato with the interchangeable bands. But I'm starting to get this story. He's finally getting to tell me he's putting a dagger in my heart that I'm buying the Stuhrling watch.
Well, welcome aboard to Stuhrling Nation, Andrew.
Thank you.
Okay.
Andrew, enjoy your Stuhrling when it arrives, and you see Larry back here, give us a call back, let us know how much you love it, okay?
Thank you,
Bye-bye,
Andrew.
Larry.
Thank you, Andrew.
Oh, by the way, I'm an MTA worker.
Hey, love the MTA. I have to use it all the time.
It's the only way to get around, isn't
That's
it?
right.
Well, I bang on the rails every day. That's where I get out my aggression.
Good way to do it. I like that. Andrew, have a great weekend. What's left of it?
Okay, you too now.
Take care now.
Bye-bye.
Take care. So long. $87.69, once only price. Hey, let me stress once more that this goes away at midnight. If there's any left. May not still be around. Which one, Blair, did you say is first to go? Rosestone goes first. It is the most limited, so that's the one you want to pick up on first. If you're having to prioritize, that would be the first one to go. We are going to move on to, well, our spotlight from earlier, and you're still calling in on it. That is the Brumalia. If you would like the black version, this is important, or actually the blue for that matter. We have 3 dozen left of each one, I'm now finding out. So 3 dozen more of you can take advantage of either one of those. The 91539 surprise price in effect, $44.79 is your first value payment. What is going to be happening tomorrow, however, you're probably wondering. Well, we're going to have some turquoise and onyx in this beautiful 18-inch long necklace, and you are going to save $32 off the regular ShopNBC price. The price will go back up at the end of that hour, and it's going to be on 3 value pays. When you're wondering, well, I'll tell you, Tuesday, tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 o'clock on the West Coast, you'll have an opportunity to see that necklace. But now, I have to start out, we got something brand new that we're going to be sharing with you. I'm going to start once more with dimensions because, guys, this is a large watch. Your case diameter, running 10 to 4, is 55 millimeters. Your width is going to be 57 3/4, going 12 to 6, 54, And in case thickness, 17 millimeters thick. Now, I'm going to weigh this. Keep in mind, as I give you this number, this is on a leather strap. This watch, even on a leather strap, weighs 217 grams. That's a heavy timepiece. Your price, $189.16. We have 4 value pays, so $47.29 can get this home. We have a green, a red, or a yellow choice based on the accent. So that's the yellow, for instance. Ignore the red. If you like this one, you're ordering yellow. If you like this one, you're ordering green. And then I have the red version of this watch. This is a great design, Larry.
Well, this is our Aronex, and this is from our Nemo series. And our Nemo series is one of our more popular series. It has the, it has the 8-sided bezel here, and a very popular series. We're so anxious, and we're launching the piece with you, Shawn, tonight. It's never been seen before, our Aronex, and we put a Ronda StarTech 5040D movement in this timepiece. And I know there's a lot of guys that are very anxious to see this on the wrist. I've gotten several messages and emails asking they can't wait to see it on the wrist because they hear the measurements of the case. And a lot of guys are, I got to see that on the wrist. So I'm anxious to show it, and I know
you'll see it on the wrist. I wanted to get this watch movement up and running. When you start seeing that fast runner, as it's sometimes called, the fraction of a second down there at 6 o'clock spinning wildly, that is indication of a Ronda 5040D start, stop, full reset. By the way, this one didn't reset to the 12 o'clock position. That is an easy fix that you can do yourself. If you ever have a watch with a Ronda 5040D, do that. It's a matter of pulling out the crown on the watch, I believe, to the first position, and then using, which pusher is it?
What you want to do is you pull the crown out to the outer position.
Outer position,
hold
that's what it is.
both pushers in at the same time simultaneously
for
about 3 seconds. Wait for a complete rotation. There it is. Now you're in the corrective mode. You use your top pusher 1 click at a time, line it up at 12, push your crown back in, and bingo, you have reset it. You can test it. You'll see what. So it's very easy to do. These Ronda StarTech movements are absolutely world-class quartz chronograph movements out there. All metal parts, 6 jewels, add and split functionality, completely repairable, world-class Ronda StarTech 5040D. You will find these movements in timepieces, Shawn, that literally run into the thousands of dollars. So here it is on the wrist. This is spectacular. By the way, notice the stitching on this. I love it. It's a nylon stitching on this that gives you just tremendous accent, the design elements. And I know the measurements measure large, but because of the cage that is protecting the crown pushers, it really does not wear as large as the numbers do measure.
Absolutely right. So it's got some weight to it. Excuse me. You're seeing it on the wrist. We're going to go back to the phones, back to New York, and Glenn, who's joining us on the phones tonight. Glenn, how are you doing this evening?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Hi, Glenn.
How are you? Great. Are you?
Larry, I spoke to you and Jim a couple weeks ago. I bought the Midnight Falcon from you.
Fantastic.
Absolutely love the watch. I just purchased the Metropolis the other night. I'm waiting for that patiently, and I just got a Zephyr.
The Zephyr we showed last hour, for anybody that's just tuning in, you can go to the website and still pick that one up. It sounds like you are a bit of a fan of the Stuhrling line of timepieces.
I'm a fan of all of them, actually. I started out with the Invictus, and then Stuhrling came on, and the uniqueness of the watch has really caught my eye.
Well, let me say this, Glenn. The models that you've described, the Zephyr, the Midnight Falcon, you're going for some of our really elite models in the collection. And I know you have to be impressed with the models you've ordered. And if you like the elite models, this one certainly fits right into that group. It's one of our finest. We're so proud of this, and being able to launch it tonight on Memorial Day evening here with Shawn Wilsie is fantastic.
Yeah. The only problem I have is if I order another watch, I think it's going to have a memorial for me.
Well,
nicely
the other
said.
night, I don't know if you remember, I told you I had to sneak upstairs to get my wallet, and my wife was asking what I was buying. I said nothing.
Oh, Glenn.
Tonight I had to run outside.
We definitely.
That was a good one.
Great. Oh, the problems we cause in relationships.
A little levity never hurt. A little levity never hurt.
Thanks, Glenn. We appreciate
Thank
your
you, Glenn.
kind words.
Much
Take
love,
care of
much
yourself.
support.
We have to run. We're going to leave the Aronex. Am I saying that right, or am I destroying it? Okay.
Aaron X, Professor Aaron X.
V91548 is your item number. I want to mention we talked to someone else earlier who was talking about our Invicta. That is also on an automatic movement. You can add that to your order. It is $75 tonight if you add that to a watch order. Otherwise, it's $200. We have not seen that watch in 2 years. We have not seen, actually over 2 years. It was 07, November of 07, since we last presented that. So there you go. You've been waiting to see it. And there it is. That's on the original coin edge bezel, by the way. I feel like I'm being watched. It's like there's somebody just peering over my shoulder. How are you?
I normally do give that reaction.
No, you don't. Daniel takes over next hour. What you got?
I do. Well, I've got a host pick coming up. We've got 2 more hours of Stuhrling, and this is the Manchester. First time we've ever seen it on the interchangeable straps. This one is coming up a little bit later at $109, so I will continue with Mr. Larry Magen with Stuhrling. And I also do like to thank Blair, our producer, for the terminology on how he uses my name when I walk out here, but thank you very much for that. But in the meantime, Shawn and Larry, I look forward to seeing you all a little bit later, about 15 minutes away, 20 minutes away.
You know, you should be working. This is an American holiday. Why am I here? You should be out here. You're British.
Should be here all day.
Exactly.
Thanksgiving, all of them. Exactly. All right, well, see you a little bit later. Thank you for that, Shawn.
Independence Day, yes.
Won't talk about that one. See you later.
Exactly. John Cleese had a great line once. He said in England they celebrate July 3rd, Dependence Day, and say, you know what, you should be more independent. You know, you should be on your own. The Stuhrling Original Apocalypse Trifecta is next, J91400. And we have this one available at $129.86. Your first payment, $25.98 on the Apocalypse Trifecta. This is the greatest idea. If you missed this earlier because you were, still out for the evening, still out barbecuing, whatever it is, we have this available with one choice that you make. Do you want a red, a green, or a blue bezel? You will, however, get 3 bezels with your watch. The color bezel that you select, and then and then also a brushed stainless bezel and a carbon fiber bezel. So 3 different ways to wear this one watch.
Well, this is our Apocalypse Trifecta, and our Apocalypse series, Shawn, is our most popular series, without a doubt, in our entire collection. It got hot about 3 years ago, and we've just been building on it ever since. And there's something like 13 or 14 models now in our Apocalypse series, including tourbillons. We have our Apocalypse Revelation. Yep. But this is the first time ever that we've put an Apocalypse on a leather strap, which is just great because now you can, wear it to the office and wear it with suits. And we went with a new case size on the Trifecta. It's a 45 millimeter case size. We put a Swiss isochronograph 8172 in there, which is a day and date chronograph. So you have a calendar, which gives you day and date, but you also have the functionality of a stopwatch. So again, if you're new to collecting or to watches or to Stuhrling or ShopNBC, this one has a Swiss chronograph, which is a stopwatch, and a combination day and date in a Swiss movement. So you're really getting a great movement in this piece. You're getting a very popular case design. This has got the 10-sided bezel, which is a signature of our Apocalypse series. And this is the presentation, of course, that Shawn is showing you, where you have the 2 extra bezels, which will give you 2 extra looks that you can, change up the personality, of your timepiece. And on one of our most popular timepiece models that we have, Shawn.
All your important information is right back there. And, if I was working with a good producer, he would have reminded me that we haven't talked about the Stuhrling warranty information yet. So your warranty information will be here, Larry. Maybe you want to touch on the Stuhrling warranty?
Yes, absolutely. With Stuhrling Original on all of our timepieces, you do get our 2-year international warranty. Our service center is in New York. If anything should go wrong, you're going to send it to us in New York. And Shawn, we'll stand behind it like we always do.
Great service department there.
Thank you.
3 ways to wear it. Here's the blue, for instance. It just unscrews off. There's little holes that you line up, and it pops right. It's doing it to me again. Go figure. Why does this always happen to me? And then the bezel comes off. Well, there's little notches you line up on the back side there, and I don't have time right there. See, it should have just popped right up. No, there we go. Now, there, that one pops off. So go ahead, line up the little notches, and put in place 4-hour stainless bezel. Well, anyway, you get the idea. Just line up the little notches there. It's hard to do in 2 seconds. Of course, the second they leave me, there, got it. See? I had to look down myself to do it. $129.86 your watch week price. First payment $25.97. 3 fine ways to wear that one. Spotlight item on that one, so that is back in stock. I think we have something very sporty to share with you. Do we have the Torino? We do indeed. The sport, one of the few watches tonight on a rubber strap. And we have 2 color choices available. We have the white and black, or we have the brown and rose tone. And if I recall correctly, the brown and rose tone is the first to go. Well, special price for Watch Week, $89.24. First value payment of $29.75 on a watch I have never actually even shown before. So this is my first chance to see this one. I'm kind of excited about this watch. I like this.
Yeah, very much. It's from our Lifestyles collection, our Italia series, and it's got a really nice presence, Shawn. It's 49 millimeters, so it's not for the shy here.
No.
It's an eye-grabbing piece. And, you know, the black and white really does give it that Italian feel to it. The texturization that's on that rubber strap, to me, I think it's like a cobblestone kind of a street when I look at it.
Good.
Our good friend Jim likes to call it a rhinoceros skin texturization, but to me it's like a
he would.
To me it's like a cobblestone. But either way, it's a very interesting texturization on the strap, and just a simple, at a glance, easy read, Swiss quartz movement. Solid stainless steel case. It's not extrusion case or cast case, so you are getting that heft, you are getting that significance. It is properly made. Even the strap integration to the case, Shawn, take a look. Nothing is off the rack here. It's custom designed, custom molded to fit this case with support at the lugs. You see how the rubber strap seamlessly goes right up against the case, and you could feel that support in there as well.
Again, reinforcing inside of this piece.
Properly made. Yep. Start noticing those things.
And what does Larry bring up a good point? These are the things that I think our watch experts certainly notice. If you're new to watch collecting, though, these are the little things that you look for, because when you see a price of $89.24, if you're like me anyways, warning bells go off and you get skeptical and you say, okay, what's wrong with the watch? What are they not going to tell me? We're full disclosure out here. We tell you everything about the watch, good, bad, or otherwise. Now Larry's going to show you the case back on this version, and I will slip on the gold tone, rose tone, or I'm sorry, brown and rose tone as we're calling this. But it is a very sporty timepiece.
Yeah, and my purpose in showing the case back, you do see the decoration, but notice a couple of things. You see the notches going around the perimeter of the case back? Okay.
Yes.
Well, again, that tells you that it's a notched, it's a threaded case back, that it takes a jeweler's tool to be able to, screw the case back in. It's not a pop-off case back, but also, we were talking about the custom molded strap with the seamless integration. Yeah. There's a good picture of it, Shawn.
Yeah. So the way that is built in, similar to what we had one earlier I showed you. I can't take that strap and just pull it all the way back. It's reinforced in there. Here is the brown and rose tone on my wrist. This is one, even though it's a sportier watch, in this execution, I'd wear this dressed up. This is a really rich look. I like the subtle little touch there of the black on the crown around the rose tone accents. That's all highly polished too, and you can see the very rich appearance that you get with that gold layering on the piece. But yet, a black rubber strap, something very unusual on a watch that I personally would dress up as well. The white and black, great summertime look. Yeah. You want a great watch for summer, there it is. And the white version will be the first, I beg your pardon, I have that backwards. The brown and rose tone will be the first one to go, the 91402, and 3 easy value payments of $29.74. You know what we've got going on? We have a whole week of must-watch event. Tonight, 4 hours. Tomorrow night, 4 hours. Some nights even more. So you're going to see some of your favorite watch brands all week long. I'll be back with you Friday in this time period, and in between, a whole array of watch shows, special pricing on everything, and 3 more value pays on everything as well. So make sure that you're here all week long if you're a watch fan for a big week, must-watch event for this, calling it summer, I guess technically now. Memorial Day does kick off summer. Here's another one of those really vintage-inspired pieces. This is the Magen chronograph with a special watch week price of $159.76. This debuted last fall, and I remember when this debuted. at that, it might have been $279 or something, but it was right around that $299 price point. So you are saving a lot of money, even off of what would have been the introductory price on this watch. We have 3 color choices. There's an all black, a silver tone brown, and a rose tone black. It's all based on the combination of colors that you're seeing on the case here. Speaking of case, your case diameter is 46, almost 47. Your width is just over 46. 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, 48. Lug to lug, and I've used that term very loosely, 51 3/4 millimeters long because it's a rectangular case. Now, you know what? I'm going to get one more dimension on this, and that's the case thickness. 13 millimeters thick because it has this wonderful sandwich-styled case that we'll even get around to showing you at some point here.
Yes, Shawn, this is our Madman Chrono, and this is a limited edition. This is a wonderful opportunity to pick up a limited edition. There are 200 units made of each of these 3 executions, and the case backs are numbered to evidence that, and you do get a certificate of authenticity with it to show you the limited edition. Now, the timepiece itself, this is the Ronda StarTech 5040D, which we just saw in the Aronnax. And this is
my gosh, it is, isn't it?
This is really one of our finer makes. And wait till you see the 1/10 of a second indication on that the fast runner down there at the 6 o'clock position. It is sensational. This is really, really one of our finer made timepieces. Now, I don't think we're real deep here on these 3, but I really don't know the execution where we stand. But
that's almost dizzying.
Yeah, there's that 1/10 of a second, and when Shawn stops it, and by the way, the pushers are somewhat recessed. Now, this one looks like...
And again, this has to be adjusted there. Yeah, we showed you that earlier.
I can calibrate that for you. But anyway, this one, look at the curvature of the case, Shawn.
Gosh.
Again, when you have these large... And there's the Stuhrling original logo plate on there that's screwed into the case. You see the pillar posts. Those corner posts are actually functional posts that hold the case together. There's those pushers that lay flush on the side of the case. When you face it up, you'll see they don't even stick out. Very industrial design here. And this is the one that has the copper tone dial. What are we calling this one? Black?
We are calling this one, I guess this would be the...
Oh, no,
black and rose tone that I have right here. Rose tone black.
It's got that kind of rose tone dial, which gives you that feel of the 40s. Everything in the 40s was all about, the copper tone, the rose tone type of jewelry and timepieces and everything. So it does have that 40s vintage feel, particularly on that execution right there.
But in a modern size for today's watch fans and with a modern watch movement, the Ronda 5040D Swiss, those are Swiss movements, incidentally. Whenever we talk about Ronda, you are getting in on a particular Swiss movement, dual deploying clasp on the very end of this great rubber strap. Now, my advice to you on this one is have a jeweler size this for you. You are going to be removing, i.e. cutting, part of the rubber strap. So I always recommend on these, have a jeweler make that adjustment. They'll properly measure your wrist and make sure that you get the correct size. And so that's one that you want to let them deal with. But once it is sized, wow, what a great looking timepiece on. Vintage, but with a lot of modern touches. The rubber strap is another very modern touch. Also note how the strap has lined up these lines from the case, that stainless steel, into the grooves on the strap.
Oh, very much so. The case design, everything we do with our design everything's from scratch. There's details in the details on these timepieces, and if we have a chance, I don't know if we're going to have a chance to see the case back here, but you could actually see, if we get the lighting just right, the limited
it's easier
edition.
on, might be a little easier on the one that Larry has.
Again, the Ronda StarTech 5040D is one of our highest level of chronograph movements that we use, and we put it in a limited edition. Here you'll see on the case back shot coming up, you do see the name of the watch right in the center. And down at the bottom, it's really right there.
Here it comes. Limited edition right there.
It is limited edition. We'll get the light just right. This one here is number 150 of 200. So to buy a genuine limited edition on a must-watch event pricing is really a good opportunity.
4 value payments, $39.94. I said earlier 3 or more value pays on everything, and that's a good example of an or more. So you have that available on 4 value pays. B91219 is your item number. And for value pays of $39.94 to get that home. You know, let me remind you about something that is going to be coming up tomorrow. I mentioned this earlier. This is tomorrow morning, a Tiffany-style lamp that is going to be presented. And it's going to be offered on 4 value pays for today only, or tomorrow as the case may be. This lamp has been out of stock for 4 months and is the only double-lit table lamp in the show. You're going to want to be here for Tiffany-style lighting and accents. Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on ShopNBC, so make sure that you tune in for that. We are now at half sold out on our once-only item. This is supposed to make it until midnight. If it does survive until midnight, you know what happens? The price goes up. So if you're ordering right now, we are still honoring the once-only price of $87.69. And with half gone, we are anticipating that this will be sold out before midnight. So it's an opportunity right now to dive in on an Alpine Challenge skeletonized watch on one of the most unique bracelets that we've ever seen any of the Alpines on. We have shown Alpines before. They have been on leather straps primarily. This is the first time I have had an opportunity to even present this one to you. There are 3 color choices, and it's based on the bracelet and the bezel. So we have a silver, actually we'll start right there with the rose tone black. There is a silver tone black, my favorite of the 2, and then a silver tone gold tone. But there's the silver tone black that Larry's hanging on to right there. And I own that watch on a leather strap in that same color combination, and I do love it. It's one of my favorite Stuhrling timepieces.
Well, you're not the only one, Shawn. This has become our #1 selling skeleton mechanical automatic timepiece from our Lifestyles collection over the last 4 years.
Wow.
And this is the new version for 2010. So you're looking at the new Alpine, the Alpine Challenge, and we put it on a stainless steel mesh bracelet with a solid end link. We have new color executions here with the first time we've ever done a gold tone bezel on any of our
Oh, is it?
Alpines.
I didn't know that.
Never did a gold tone bezel before. It's got that kind of satin frosted finish on there. And also, all the details are certainly there with the skeleton mechanical automatic. But one of the things we haven't pointed out is even on what's remaining on the dial, and the dial what's remaining would have the minute markers. You see the 5, 10, 15, the 25, and 35. But if you come in real tight, you'll even see what's remaining has the texturization of a sunray pattern that's been cut away. Again, we didn't have to do that. I mean,
No.
it's almost seems superfluous, but it's there. All the Stuhrling details are there. Here you have the luminous, the Super Luminova filled cigar style hands, the propeller style of faceplate with your 12, 4, and 8. You can see all the inner workings. You've got the domed crystal, which is a signature calling card for the Alpine. And again, I want to reach out. I know that for all the fans out there that love the Alpine, and I'm sure that you're participating in this, and that's why we're half sold out. But again, I think this is just a great opportunity for me as a representative here for Stuhrling Original to say, anybody out there that's never tried our brand, this would be a great opportunity because of the once-only offering, and it's one of our finest. We're known for skeleton mechanicals. The case is blank from solid steel. You have a threaded case back. You have 50 meters of water resistance. It's not just about telling time. It's about sharing your love and appreciation of watchmaking with others when you own a skeleton. Mm-hmm. Shawn, in the old days, when watchmaking was, getting going and in its infancy, they used to have competitions among the watchmakers to see who could cut away more of the extraneous metal parts and still have a functioning watch. And that's how skeleton watches were born. Yeah. And they would literally have contests and have awards for skeletons. And so you're really honoring the lost art of watchmaking with skeletons, and that's a big part of what we do at Stuhrling Original. And this is our #1 selling skeleton mechanical from our Lifestyles collection. It's properly made, no battery. Join the club.
I'm going to drop this on the scale here because it's a solid stainless steel bracelet. This weighs 159.2 grams in weight. If that were a nylon strap, it would be much lighter, and it has that look of being a nylon strap, but it's not. That is a stainless steel bracelet that you're getting. Now, we discussed this earlier, and it is important, so I'm going to repeat this. Take your wrist size into consideration before you order. If you have, or if you're gifting it, the person that's going to receive it, a smaller than 6 3/4 inch wrist, then we should probably see if we can find something else for you. And there are other Alpines on leather straps. You can go to the website, you might find one of those. Because I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist and I'm in the final hole on this bracelet. So if you have a smaller wrist than that, then you might have a difficult time wearing this. Now, conversely, Larry has a larger wrist, and how much room do you have? I know you mentioned...
Well, I didn't fasten it, but I've worn it many, many times. It fits me great as a size 8, but I mean, the other side of the spectrum here is if you're one of those guys that has a 9-inch wrist, you're a guy that has trouble finding watches to fit you. 9.5, forget it. 10, you can really have to get custom straps. This will accommodate easily up to a 10-inch wrist size.
Okay.
So if you're one of those guys, this is just an incredible opportunity for you to find a watch that's going to fit you out of the box.
Father's Day, June 20th, you can have this in time for Father's Day. Every watch you're going to see on the network this week, in fact, you can have in time for Father's Day. This is the silver tone, gold tone. Larry has on my pick the silver tone black. The first one to sell out, and it's probably going to last for another minute, and that's about it, is the rose tone black. That has been the very, very popular choice with that rose gold layering.
And you know, Shawn, it's really not a surprise because, you know, we used what we call dollar cost averaging. If we were doing things the old way, the old school way, the rose tone would be more expensive than the other two.
Oh, sure.
The rose gold execution is without a doubt more expensive for us to produce. But you hear they're all being offered at the same price. So if you want to get, let's say, the most dollar value for your money, then the rose gold is definitely the choice because it's flat out more expensive.
We have 3 easy value payments of $29.23. You can advertise that out on a major credit card. And of course, add and save shipping would come into play if you're adding something else to the order, like the Invicta Pro Diver for $75. You would only spend 1 full shipping charge. Your others would be discounted in half. Whatever your highest shipping cost would be the 1 shipping charge. Maybe it's another Stuhrling that you're picking up. We've had some great choices. If you haven't found the one you like yet, there are 2 more hours of Stuhrling right around the corner. Daniel will take over in my chair. Larry is going to stick around, though, for a couple more hours of great timepieces. But the Alpine is almost iconic. It's one of those watches that has become synonymous with Stuhrling as a company.
Fair statement, Shawn.
Yeah, and for very good reason, because here is such a beautifully designed timepiece with those propellers, which are really the only thing covering the visible portion of the watch movement there. That's, if you wanted to define a dial, that's really about it.
Yeah, and when you own skeletons, you know, you find yourself, you know, taking them off your wrist, sharing them with your friends, getting into conversations, and you can tell people, oh, see this wheel over here that's fluttering over here? That's the balance wheel. And you see down here, there's a pallet fork down here, and you start talking about watchmaking, and you learn about watches. Once again, for those of you that are new, there's no battery in this timepiece. It runs just off of the motion of your wrist. You give it a little whine to get it started, and then just your natural movement will keep it wound, Shawn.
If you're wearing that every day, it's going to keep itself wound. If you let it sit for day and a half, couple days, I guess, then just wind it up. Set the time, wind it up, and you're ready to go and enjoy it all over again. $29.23. You have 2 hours, 5 minutes to get in on that price, or while supplies last, because at midnight Eastern time, that is done. So make note of that item number V91559. I promise you some watch storage. That's going to be coming up in just a little bit. Larry's going to be back. You have 2 more hours of Stuhrling, right?
Thank you so much, Shawn. Fabulous job. Always a pleasure to work with you.
I'm going to race home and watch the show because there are more Stuhrlings to come. But I promise you watch storage, and our 1 watch storage box is sold out. However, we still have a limited number of the watch storage with the watch winders, and that will be coming up after these words of great interest.